Okay, welcome to another interesting edition of Teach Yourself QuickBooks. So far, so good. I think we've been able to cover at least 70% of all the basic outlines of QuickBooks, all the things you need to know and get yourself started and all that. So by now, you should be able to get your hands strong on entering transactions, entering expenses based on the previous modules and how we were able to demonstrate that and all that. So I think by now you should be able to get your hands strong on that. And I always advise you to always go over the video again and again. That is the reason we broke it into different sections, so that if there are areas you don't understand, you can always play that particular area without necessarily starting from the beginning and all that. It's very important for you, for us to do the video in such a way so that a beginner can always go through a section. There are sections that you just want to get yourself clarified on, or you might have certain challenge when you find yourself working on your business transactions. You want to get clarified on how to record that, so you can always make reference to that particular section, watch over and over and over and over till you're able to get necessary details and all that. Now, in this section, we're also going to be talking about something very, very important too, because when money comes into your business and money goes out, there's always a pool where these funds are coming from, and that is your bank. So how do you track your bank in QuickBooks? It's quite important. At the point of setup, we're able to discuss how to add your bank account, and I demonstrated that. If you go back to your company setup, you should be able to see, you will see what I did there. We added our Zenith Bank, we added our GT Bank. When you go to your list, your chart of accounts, you will see the list of the banks. You can see we have a GT Bank, we have any bank, and I also demonstrated how to add your current and savings account. That is, if you have different accounts with a bank, how to add those accounts so that the system will sum up all the accounts and give you total money you have in that particular bank and all that. So we explained that section. So in this section, we are going to be expanding more on banking. What are the banking transactions? What are the kind of banking transactions that occurs? What are the things that happens in your business regarding your bank that you want to track? For example, when there's a flow of funds from one account into your own bank, probably there's a bank transfer, or you are transferring money from your bank to another bank, which is you're saying your bank too, or you are transferring money from your bank to fund your petty cash. So we're going to be demonstrating that too. And also important area is how do we enter reconciliation in QuickBooks. Probably at the end of the month, you want to reconcile your bank balance with your QuickBooks and all that. So you wouldn't want to carry a figure in QuickBooks that it's not the same thing as what you have in your bank. So at the end of the month, it's always advisable for you to do reconciliation so that you carry your book alongside what your bank is telling you. So before we continue, I'm going to add a particular account here which I think is missing, and that is our petty cash. Because it's always important that when you run your business, there's a certain amount of money you set aside to run daily expenses, which you probably give to one of your staff, maybe like an accounting officer and all that, and he's expected to account for every fund that goes out of that particular petty cash. So we're going to add that account here, and it's not different from the way we added our GT Bank and our Zenith Bank. The only difference here is that we're going to give it a name called petty cash. So I'm going to start all over again. I'm closing this chart of account. Now to add your petty cash, you go to list. When you go to list, you click chart of account. I also explain what chart of accounts does, and I can always make reference to that section. I devoted a whole module on charts of accounts. So when you get to this section, you click accounts, you select new. Now the account you want to add is petty cash, and petty cash is funded from where? The bank. So here you click bank. Now you can even see here they've already given us a hint on the kind of account we can add on our bank section here, bank category, petty cash. So you click continue, So here the account name we're going to add here will be called petty cash or impress, depending on what you call it. So here we enter petty cash. Now, note this, we also have balances. Now, the way we enter our bank balance when we're doing our setup, that's how you are also expected to enter your opening balance for petty cash. It's likely that at the point of setting up your system in QuickBooks, there is an amount that you have as your petty cash balance. So you're expected to enter that amount here. So assuming your petty cash balance is 12,500, you enter. Now, the statement ending date too has to be the same date across all other account head. So you can see also that the date we selected in setting up our company has to be the same date we also select when we're setting up our petty cash and also other account head with balances. So it's very important for you to note that. So here you click OK. When you're done, you click save and close. So we've been able to add our petty cash here. So you can see here the petty cash is now added. You can see it's coming to the banking section. Now we have the GT Bank, we have the petty cash, and we have the Zenith Bank. So petty cash is now added to the system. You come down here, we close it. Now the first banking transactions we are going to be entering here is transfer, fund transfer. Assuming we are transferring money from one bank to another. Oh, we're transferring money from the GT Bank to Zenith Bank. How do you enter that into the system? Oh, the money in GT Bank is not enough for us to settle the project. I want to transfer some funds from Zenith Bank to that account. To do that, you go to banking, click transfer fund. When you click transfer fund, it will bring out a window. Now this is the window you use to execute bank transfer in QuickBooks. Now to enter that, you select the date which that transfer was made, transfer fund from which bank are you transferring the money. Are we transferring from our Zenith Bank current? It will show you the balance. We're now transferring to GT Bank. Here it will also show you the balance. Maybe we're transferring 100,000 to Zenith to GT Bank. That's from Zenith Bank to GT Bank. Here you will enter 100,000 naira. Okay, so memo you will then enter being transfer of fund from Zenith Bank current to GT Bank. So here it means that you're transferring 100,000 from Zenith Bank to GT Bank. So we're automatically expecting GT Bank balance to increase to 517,800. So when you click save and close here to confirm that, we'll go to our banking, use register. So GT Bank will click OK. Now you will see here now GT Bank balance has increased to 517,000 naira with the bank transfer that we just did. So you can confirm here that what we entered now is correct. You can see that. So that's how to do your fund transfer. So you can see the figure showing here, fund transfer of 100,000 naira. So that is how to enter your fund transfer. Very important. So if you're also transferring from Zenith Bank to GT Bank, the same thing happens. If you're transferring from your current account to your savings account, also use fund transfer. Another area is if you want to fund your petty cash. Oh, we have 12,000 naira in petty cash and we want to fund our petty cash with 10,000 naira so that we can increase what we have. Probably assuming that the money in your petty cash is almost finished. That's assumption. Then the money is coming from your Zenith Bank savings. So here you click Zenith Bank savings. You can see you have a balance of 100. Then you come your transfer fund to where? Petty cash. So here you enter your 10,000 naira. So you use this section if you're withdrawing money from your bank to fund your petty cash. So you use transfer fund. From which bank are you withdrawing the money? Select the bank and where is it going to? Petty cash. Select petty cash. Then you click OK. To confirm that, you go to use register. You click here. Then you select petty cash. You click OK. You can see our petty cash balance has increased. Initially we had 12,500. Now it has increased to 10,000 naira. It's very simple and straightforward. Very simple and straightforward. Now, another important aspect of your banking is reconciliation. How do we reconcile bank balances? Whenever there's a difference between the balance we're carrying in QuickBooks and what our bank statement is telling us, how do we reconcile that in QuickBooks? Now, to reconcile that, these are the steps you need to take. Firstly, request your bank statement from your account officer. Well, now that we are in an era of internet banking, online banking, and all that, you don't necessarily have to request your statement. All you need to do is log on to your account online and download your statements. So those are things you need to do. Now, once you're done with that, you now go to reconcile. When you go to reconcile here, now this is the window you use to start your reconciliation. You know that we have different bank accounts. We have the Zenith Bank, we have the GT Bank. So assuming we are doing our reconciliation on Zenith Bank current, so you have to select the bank which you are using to which you're reconciling first. If you're going to reconcile all your bank accounts, you have to select them one after the other. So here we click Zenith Bank current. Now we assume that you've already downloaded your Zenith Bank current account statement online. Now, we now have what we call ending balance. That bank statement you downloaded online or which you requested your bank officer to give you should have a balance at the end of the month, because reconciliation takes place at the end of the month. So that whatever the bank is telling you that you have at the end of the month, you enter the balance here. The bank is saying we have 300,000 naira as our bank balance. So the balance you pick here is the balance on the bank statement, or the balance from the statement you downloaded online, which is from your bank, not on QuickBooks. It's important for you to know that when you enter the ending balance here, which is that's the bank balance at the end of the month, you come here, you ask yourself again, look at the bank statement. Were there charges on that bank statement? If my bank deduct an amount, certain amount from my account as a result of SMS sent to me for issuing checkbooks, for just like normal bank charges and all that. So you look at it now. If it was then, we'll talk about COT, but they scrapped COT. So you just look at other charges and all that. Like example, ATM withdrawal is also a charge. When you withdraw money from other bank which is not your bank will charge you. So that bank will charge you and all that. These are charges. So when you look at that, you will now sum all the little charges together for that particular month. Then assuming it's amount of 525 naira, 525 naira 50 kobo, you enter the amount here. Now this charges an expense to you. Definitely is an expense to you. All you need to do is also track that, record that in an account. So QuickBooks will bring out a default account called bank service charge. So all the charges that have been deducted from your account should go to an expense account called bank service charge. So you click it. Now you also check again where there interest earned. For leaving your money in the bank for a certain period, your bank will pay you an interest, though interest may be small, but you also need to track that because we are reconciling our bank balance. So you can check here, assuming the interest earning 23.5 naira. Now that interest earned is also an income to you, though it's small, but it's still an income. So QuickBooks will take it to an account called interest income account. So you select interest income account. Now, what we have done here is we have looked at the basic item, leaving other things constant. These are the two key items that even if you don't carry out any transaction on your bank at all, these two will definitely hold in most cases. So we have selected our bank charges, we have selected our interest income. Once you're done, you click continue. Now if you click continue, this window appears. Now this is another important window you need to understand. Now another thing you also look at in your bank statement now is we have looked at the bank charges, we have looked at our interest income. Now ask yourself, was there any credit transfer into your account that you were not aware of? Did any of your customer or any of your clients pay any money into your account that you were not aware of? Because if they pay money into your account, that will increase your bank balance while your balance remain constant because you were not aware and all that, and that will definitely lead to discrepancy. So we look at that. So in this particular deposit section here, we are trying to trace that amount. If that credit transfer into your account is in QuickBooks, you mark this section. What you're doing is anytime you mark sections like this, you're telling QuickBooks that yes, this figure is in QuickBook and it's also in bank statements. Now let's assume now that there is a transfer of money into our QuickBooks, into our bank account, but we're not aware of, and that transfer is like 10,000 naira from one of a customer. Because for someone to pay money into our account, probably the person is a client that is owing us, so he wanted to settle part of his account receivable balances. So to do that, you go to customer. When you go to customer, you go to receive payment. What we're doing now is we are entering that credit transfer into our bank that were not tracked in QuickBooks. So you come here, receive payment here. When you go to receive payments window, you ask yourself who paid in that money, which you should be able to see in your bank statement there. So who paid in that money? Apex Global paid in 10,000 naira. So we'll come here, we'll enter 10,000 naira as our payment. When you enter it, you have to tick this place here. You can see out of 150 they were owing us, they paid us 10,000, which means their balance should, sorry, they were owing us 100,000. Sorry, they paid us 10,000. No, we've already received 50,000 before, so they paid us 10,000 and the balance is 90,000. Once you're done, you click save and close, and that payment was done by cash too. So here we click save and close. We have saved the transaction. Then the next section we are going now to is to make deposits. When we go to make deposits too, you can see we also have the 10,000 naira coming here. We'll click 10,000 naira. We click OK. The account we're reconciling is Zenith Bank current account. You click it. Once you click it, then you click OK. So we have saved that. Now you can now see that the 10,000 is now coming here. Initially it was just this 10,000. Now we're now, so which means we have been able to enter that transaction that was reflecting in bank statement but not in QuickBooks. So we'll be able to enter it in QuickBooks. Then to confirm that, you have to tick this. You understand? So to tick this, you're telling QuickBooks now that we have entered that. Now QuickBooks will look at two areas here. It will look at your ending balance and will look at your cleared balance. Now this is the ending balance of 300,000 which we entered before. Now this is our cleared balance. Now the overall idea is that our cleared balance should be equal to our ending balance, which means difference should be zero. But because we are using an imaginary figure here, so this difference may not be correct. But you have to just follow the procedure that I'm doing right now. So if you look at that too, oh, we've been able to enter credit transfer into our bank account that were not tracked in QuickBooks, and that transfer is coming from a client that was owing us before, and we have entered that. Now the next section again is, was there any standing order? Did our bank make a payment on our behalf which we didn't enter in the system? So you also go through this section. Oh, was there anything like that? We're trying to trace, if it's not there, assuming all these transactions that you're seeing here, they are all in QuickBooks, all you need to do, so they're all in bank statements, all you need to do is tick this, tick this, tick this, tick this. You can see these are what we are doing and all that. So doing this means that all these transactions are also in our bank statement. That is what it means. So if there's a payment that was made and that payment is not in QuickBooks, but it's also reflected in our bank statement, maybe like bank charges, we show our bank to pay a particular supplier, then you come to this section, banking, you use write check. If you go to write check, note that the account we're reconciling is any bank current, so you select any bank current account. So we instructed our bank to make a payment to maybe let's select one of the suppliers here. Oh, LG Engineering Company and all that. So here we'll come here, expenses. Oh, that was in respect of repair and maintenance. So here we'll enter refrigerator repair and maintenance, and that amount is 15,000 naira here. So we enter the amount 15,000 naira, then you click save and close. When you click save and close, you can also see that the 15,000 naira, you can see is boarding here, is also reflecting here. That means that that payment that our bank made on our behalf, which we didn't enter in Facebook, is not showing here. Once you're done, you click tick. So what we have done now is, any transaction that is in our bank statement but not reflected in QuickBooks, you come down to QuickBooks to enter that transaction. But if you're entering the transaction, don't close this window. It's either you go to home, you select your right check, or you come to this section and all that. So it's very important for you to be able to understand these principles and all that. So once you're done with that, you now come down to QuickBooks. Oh, what are the transactions that we have made in QuickBooks but have not reflected in the bank statement? Example, you give one of our supplier a check and we've already entered it in QuickBooks, but that check has not been cleared in the bank. So which means the QuickBook balance will definitely reduce, but the bank balance will increase. But the way the reconciliation is done in QuickBook, that doesn't mean you have to go and pick up the check, or you go to collect the check, or maybe you have to cancel the transaction. No, keep it aside. Let it just note it somewhere. The next thing again is, probably we have a check that was given to us, that will give to, we talked about the one we give to the supplier that is yet to be presented. Then we have a check that was given to us, we have already entered it as deposit into the system, and we took it to the bank and it has not been cleared too. Sorry, in the first case it's not been presented to the bank, but the second case here is it's not been cleared and all that. Now the first one is payment. We paid one of our supplier, we give them by check, but that is yet to be presented to the bank. Second one, we received a check from our customer, but it's yet to be cleared to our bank statements, into our bank account. So when you have these, if these are the two areas where you have a discrepancy, all you need to do is generate a report and send it to management, making them understand that the difference between the QuickBook balance and your bank balance is either an unpresented check which we have issued to a particular supplier, but they are yet to make to present it at the counter, or an uncredited check which we received from a customer, but they are yet to credit our account, maybe probably because we took it to the bank and the bank is yet to credit that amount to our account. So if these are the two areas where we have discrepancy, we expect the difference between your cleared balance and your ending balance to be the same. Sorry, difference between them to be zero. That means if our ending balance is 300, our cleared balance here should also be that same figure here. So once that is done, you should be able to settle that. Okay, let me carry out a transaction here to confirm something. Let me carry out a transaction here to confirm something here. Go to banking, write a check, Zenith Bank current. We're writing a check to one of our printing press company for 49,000 naira. Then click save and close. You want to take this. Okay, we wrote the check and all that. Okay, now we have a balance of 498,000. We're tracing the balance. Oh, our QuickBook balance is 300,498. Our ending balance is 300,000 naira. So let's say that this 498 that we're having here, it maybe we pay was probably like a bank charge for making a payment. So we'll come here, we'll enter write check, the additional bank charge that we didn't discover. So here you come here, bank charges 498. Then once it's done, you click save and close here. So 498. Then you tick it. Ticking it means it's in QuickBooks and it's in bank statement. Oh, great. So what I've just done here now, we can see right now that we've been able to do our reconciliation here. So what I did was that you can see the cleared balance here is the balance in QuickBooks, while the ending balance here is the balance in our bank statement. That was the one we entered initially. What I did was that the 49,498 I had to, which is what is showing in our QuickBooks. That means our QuickBooks balance was greater than bank balance by 49,498 naira. So we now saw that, oh, that 49,498 naira was a payment that was made from the bank, but we are yet to enter it into QuickBooks. So I have to create a transaction for that. But the overall idea is to bring our ending balance and our QuickBooks balance to be the same. So you can see now the difference is zero. You can see right here that our cleared balance is 300, then our QuickBooks balance, because the overall idea is that the bank balance and your QuickBooks balance has to be the same, which is zero. Once they are done, you click record here. You click I think you click reconcile now here. Congratulations, your account is balanced. All marked items have been cleared in the account register. State of reconciliation report you would like to see. Probably you want to see a reconciliation report. You will go here, you click, you can check summary. So look at our reconciliation report right now. So you can see here our book has been reconciled right now. So that's our reconciliation report here. So that's how to do your reconciliation in QuickBooks. You need to go through this over and over again. What you need, like I said, you just need to understand the processes in doing your reconciliation here. So we're trying to check our reports. When we get to the report, I will explain this later. Oh, this is previous reconciliation. Know that you don't have to, you're not looking at the previous reconciliation. Banking, is the one we just did now. This is the one we just did. Now that when we get to report section, I'm going to explain this better. Now that so you just need to understand how to do our reconciliation. So you should be able to go through this over and over again. Like I said, go through your bank statement. Ask yourself what's your bank balance. That's the one you downloaded online. Enter it as the ending balance. Look at the charges, enter them and track it to take it to bank service charge. Look at your interest ends, take it to interest income, then you click continue. When you click continue, look at your bank statement, ask yourself, oh, was there any credit deposit in your bank, probably like a credit transfer, which we didn't track? If there is, go to your customer section to receive payment, because for someone to have made a payment to your account, probably the person might be a customer, or it might even be either an advance payment. Just go to customer and receive the payment. Look at also the payment side of your bank account. Was there any payment that was made on your behalf, or you ask yourself, example, standing order. When you look at that, you come here to you also make that payment too. You go to your right check. You now come to QuickBooks and ask yourself, was there any transaction that I entered in QuickBooks that is yet to reflect in the bank account? Oh, we received a check from a customer and we sent it to the bank and are yet to clear it. We've already entered into the system, but the bank is yet to credit our account. Oh, another area is we made a payment to a supplier. We didn't check and they are yet to present them into the we are yet to present that check to the bank, which is like unpresented check. You're able to do this. Now you will now be able to compare beneath it here, this section. You'll be looking at your cleared balance and your ending balance. The ending balance is the balance of the bank, the cleared balance is the QuickBook balance. So if all the transactions have been entered, your cleared balance and your ending balance has to be the same. If they are the same, difference should be zero. That's how to run reconciliation. Very simple and straightforward. Very straightforward and all that. So I would advise you to watch this over and over again. Where you will need this particular area most is probably at the end of the month. That's the reconciliation side. But the other side, which is your transfer fund, from your petty cash to your bank, probably you want to transfer from your petty cash back to your bank, or your bank back to petty cash, or from one bank to another bank, or from one account to another account. You use the word transfer fund window. I think that are the basic things you need to understand in terms of entering your banking transaction. At the point of understanding the setup and making our sales entry, that I thought out how to receive payments from our customer and deposit to the bank. At the point of entering transaction, I also which is our purchases too. So either you're purchasing an item or you're making payment for an expenses, I thought us how to write check. So this aspect of our banking has been dealt with in that regard. So what you need to understand now is how to do your fund transfer and reconciliation. If you have a question, you can always send a mail to info@accountingsoftware.com.ng. Thank you.